Welcome back to another edition of This Week at Kind Fibers at Serenity Cove Farm. Today I am headed up to the community that I used to live in. It is an Old Order community, and when I go, I dress plain, not because I have to, but out of respect for people that I still have a good relationship with and that are, still spiritually and practically still very involved in my life. I did not leave for any reason other than my health. I've got some things going on that I have to have filtered air, and I can't get overheated, and a few other things because my immune system goes wonky and I've almost died. So medically I couldn't stay, but when I go up, I still dress plain, and I still follow the basis of the community rules, and it's just a respect thing. It's not a have to or anything. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this edition of This Week. Alright, because our driveway is washed out right now, we're having to go across on foot. I am taking everything across that I need for today in the kayak. There's not enough room for me and the stuff, so I will be waiting and pulling the kayak behind me. Christine, there's Ryan's fleece. And I'm not going to actually film going across with the kayak right now, because I don't want to have my camera out with rushing water. Okay, we made it safely across, and that water there is our driveway. There's the truck on the other side, and I am just hanging out up here, kayak, waiting for the car. It's so pretty on this side. I don't want to actually show the interior of the community to make sure that I don't accidentally film anyone. If you're familiar with Amish or Old Order Mennonites, then members of the church are not supposed to be filmed in any capacity. So out of respect for that, I have not done any filming like within the heart of the community, and I always make sure what few times I've ever had a camera out, because I used to live there and didn't have one, that I don't film any person out of respect for the community rules. This is one of the nicest farms up on the left, and that small building in front of the greenhouse is a bakery. Very good bread making. There's another farm on the right hand side. You can't really see it, it's back a ways. There's actually about 4 farms back there. That tower that you see kind of right in the middle of the screen right now to the distance, when you climb that on a clear day, you can see almost 20 miles away. It's a very neat thing, and I've been up there more than once. Big thing to go up there. You'll see a horse and buggy on the left here in a second, and that is where the new butcher shop is being put in. See, horse and buggy right there. And the farm over on the right hand side, they don't only farm, they also do woodworking. And that vehicle there is actually someone who is coming in and hauling some stuff for them. There's a lot of outside people who work with Old Order communities so that they can interact with the outside world while maintaining their religious standards. I'm getting ready to actually turn into the heart of the community, so the filming is going to stop here in just a moment. Well, we successfully went to town and to the community, and now we just have to get everything back across the creek. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we get our groceries home. I ended up having to go back up to the community in order to get jam making supplies and sugar and all the next day. This is a picture of some wool on my front porch at my home there when I lived there. I don't want to actually show the house because other people are using it. But this next section is just my thoughts and feelings on being back after being away for a few months. So I went and visited some of my friends today. It's Tuesday. It's the day after. I needed to get some more stuff for my elderberry and for jam making and stuff for the summer for the stand. So I went and did that, and there's some of the raspberry bushes and stuff are still back there, so I'm going to get some starts and all for the new place. But it's odd coming back and seeing the place different, but yet it's kind of, I don't know, it just has a surreal feeling. Like, it's really sad to see like the clothes lying down, and it's sad to see, you know, like things that I kind of took care of and all, like to see it not the same way. But it also it makes me feel good to see it being used in some regard. The men are using it as a place to just kind of like, if they need to take a break, something like that. It's being used as far as the land is being very well used. You know, so, and it's also being used as a guest house when somebody comes. So it feels odd being here because it's not my home anymore. But it still feels like it should be my home. Yeah. So it's been a good day. I mean, I had a great visit with my friends, so that was nice, and it's good just to be out and among people. And you know, we went and hung out in the greenhouses and helped make lunch, and it just felt good to be, it felt good to just be part of something bigger than just my own little world. Okay, round 2 of getting everything back across the creek. This is jam making supplies, cattle feed, jars, and then I've got some other stuff. My bonnet. I got home just in time. We've got a storm moving in. What you doing, Nikki? It's been 3 days since I transplanted my established plants, all 6 of them here. And for the most part, they're doing really good. It's Thursday morning. I ended up spending most of yesterday just resting because I was tired after 2 days of going back and forth across that creek and hauling hundreds of pounds back up the bank and loading them into trucks and unloading them and dragging them into the house and dragging them into the feed place. And Mom was tired too, so we ended up resting quite a bit yesterday. We still got some stuff done. I had some wool that needed to be sorted and orders to get out, so I worked on that. Poor mom, she decided that with the rain, these next storms, that she needed to go ahead and get some extra feed on to the property, so she went to the feed store, and then we had yet another afternoon of hauling hundreds of pounds of stuff across the creek in the kayak and up to the truck and loading and unloading and all of that. So I'm glad I rested yesterday, did some house cleaning. It was a pretty chill day. But today, Thursday, it's raining. The rain's moved in. All the animals are staying in. I just got finished milking Allie, and I'm getting ready to do some training with Jody, who is just a little thing. But, you know, going ahead and training them to the stanchion and getting them used to being handled is a really great thing to do before you ever have them as milk goats. Claire's sucking on my finger right now. She's so cute. So I'm going to show a clip of that, and then the main thing I'm doing today is I'm making elderberry syrup. Since it's so rainy and I can't do anything outside, I'm going to get my syrup making done and some jam making since this is the day for it. So are you done? Are you done? Do you want any more, Joe? I've got all my ingredients in my syrup. The elderberry, the sugar, the spices. And now I'm going to wait for it to come to a boil. And then I will can it up. I got started doing elderberry syrup a few years ago. A little more than a few years ago. I've been perfecting this recipe for about 5 years. It sells really well. Sell it at the market. And when I started making it, I couldn't afford to get the honey like everybody else did, so I started making it with raw sugar. And I realized I had a product with a much lower cost, so I get to sell mine for about half of what everybody else sells theirs for. And considering that elderberry has shot up to like a ridiculous price this year due to shortages, and then also so many pharmaceutical companies getting in on it. You know, it sells really well because people here, they want the elderberry. So this is one of my #1 sellers. This is one of the main things that I do for money every year is I cook elderberry and then I take it to the farmer's market and the farm stand and all with me. And I also have people who come and get it all year long. So today I'm mixing up 8 cases of it. Alright, the first round of pints of elderberry syrup are in the water bather. And these are water baths just according to exactly how my grandmother did hers, which came from a Ball recipe book. Well, the forecast ended up being very, very wrong, and it is absolutely gorgeous out, and I am stuck inside making elderberry syrup now. But I came out to check on the goats and just kind of take a break. I think I'm on batch number 5, like case number 5 dozen. So I'm in the home stretch. I should be done by chores, and I'm hoping I have a few minutes to come outside and enjoy this great weather. What do you think about it, Nick? What do you think about it, Nicky? Yeah? What do you think about it? No? Yes. Go, Mama. Well, it's 4:30. I'm still cooking elderberry syrup, and the weather has changed again. And not only are we expecting a thunderstorm, we are now under tornado watch. So tell you what, every day it's something. We managed to get Laurel's dominant fleece off. Now we just have to finish it up. She's being exceptionally good, and things are going very quickly. I call this the reverse poodle. It's the last day of the week, Saturday, and it is not quite 6:30, and we are out taking care of the animals because we just got warning that we are under flood advisory starting at 7, which is about the time we usually do our chores, and there's possibility of high winds or tornadoes. So we are doing everything in the dark to take care of the animals. The light from my little hand torch was pretty much all the light that we had to do our chores. So what I'm showing you is pretty good, fair representation of what it was like to do the chores that morning. Just as the sun came up, I got the cow stall ready for the cattle to get into. And as you can see, there is lightning in the background. And it wasn't very long after this that the rain actually moved in. Sun's coming up, starting to drizzle. Whew. Looks peaceable right now. It won't be in a few minutes. While it rained and stormed, I worked on separating out the rest of Minnie Mau Mau's locks and getting that ready for the Etsy shop. And I thought that was a pretty nice thing to do while it was raining. We ended up not having very much flooding,
and we only had very minimal damage or anything. And considering all, we count ourselves extremely, extremely blessed.
This week is done, and it sure has been a busy one. I'm hoping for not quite so many adventures next week. We've had a lot of things happen. We've had a lot of good things, seeing friends and visiting. We've had some not so good things, but overall, it's been a decent week, and that's a good thing. We ended up coming through the storm much better than what we expected. We only had 6.5 inches of rain. Nashville is in a pretty bad state right now, and then further south they had tornadoes and such. So we are feeling very, very blessed to have just had to wade across the creek and bring supplies in, and our creek is already headed down. So I hope you enjoyed this week here at Kind Fibers. Have a great day.